There was a Labour MP in Peterborough. She was called Fiona Onasanya, and she was jailed in January for lying about a speeding offence. Then after that there was a petition, and she became the first MP to be removed by one of these recall petitions. So good job, Labour, another first. This meant that Peterborough had to have a by-election, which is what happens when an MP vacates their seat when it's not during the time of a general election. So, this came at a particularly interesting time, because it was shortly after the MEP elections in which the Brexit Party did very well, and this momentum was expected to carry forward to the an MP position, which would have confirmed that the Brexit Party are a really quite a strong forward force in British politics, and could muster the support required to beat the first past the post system and actually bring about some change in British politics in the direction of Brexit. Peterborough voted 60% to leave, so you would think that the Brexit Party campaigning on the issue of Brexit would have done quite well. Fiona was also the MP who prevented a no-deal vote being passed through Parliament by voting to block it and being that one vote that actually made it go through, so now Parliament can't agree to a no-deal Brexit, or at least in principle. So she wasn't really very popular, and given how the groundwork of 3 years after the Brexit referendum, Peterborough being a pro-Brexit area, and the Labour MP actively stopping the most desirable form of Brexit from occurring, one might have thought that the Brexit Party were going to do very, very, very well there. But that doesn't appear to have been the case. Despite the Brexit Party topping all of the polls at the moment and Labour flagging in all of theirs as well as the Conservatives, it seems that there are enough legacy Labour and Tory voters to kind of put the brakes on the viral meme that is the Brexit Party, as Labour only just won the Peterborough by-election, returning a different MP to the Parliament. The results are as follows. Lisa Forbes for Labour got 10,484 votes, whereas Mike Green for the Brexit Party got 9,801 votes. Now, this is going to be a considerably split vote because of Paul Bristow of the Conservatives getting 7,243. Had he not been standing, there's every chance that the Brexit Party would have just sucked up these votes, because they are, in effect, a Tory safety valve. This is not good. It is not good that Labour can still muster the support, but, I mean, you'll notice how low these numbers are. The turnout was something like 48%, which is lower than in a normal general election, and slightly higher than the 35%-ish that the MEP elections got. It's very interesting how a large percentage of the voting bloc simply don't vote because of Brexit. They actually don't care about how the chips fall with Brexit and are more concerned with voting for their team or the local issues, which appears to be what they've done here. In her victory speech, Miss Forbes said that her party's triumph over the Brexit Party shows that the politics of division will not win. Well, okay, let's just stop there. You appear to be pushing the politics of division. I mean, she faced controversy earlier in the week because she liked a post which said Prime Minister May had a Zionist slave master's agenda. Politics of division, that's bad. Those fucking Jews, though, that's okay. Anyway, she shouldn't be so confident about the Brexit Party not triumphing in this regard. This was a gnat's whisker of an election. This was just a hair's breadth. A few hundred votes was all that prevented the Brexit Party from winning, and all that prevented a Labour Party loss. The Brexit Party is, 8 weeks old now? And so it really has been a storm. And to be honest with you, I'm rather disappointed they didn't get this, even though I'm a member of UKIP, because I do want Brexit to happen, and if the Brexit Party had won and got an MP, that would have been a very clear signal to the Conservatives. Even though Boris Johnson has already been telling Conservatives, look, we have to get this done or our time is up. And to be honest with you, it probably will be. It's just this is a little bit ahead of the curve, I would suggest. Come the next general election, it'll be a very interesting thing. Peterborough isn't exactly a Labour stronghold, and they did just vote to recall, for the first time in history, a Labour MP from this borough. But obviously it's disappointment with the candidate and not with the politics of Labour that have apparently caused this. It's not that this is the case. It's not that this was some sort of Tory stronghold that flipped to the Brexit Party, although it almost did flip to the Brexit Party. That should show the Westminster establishment that there's a lot of movement underneath the surface, I think, and I don't think they're going to be able to hold on to their privileged positions for long in the face of an electorate that is getting increasingly annoyed that Brexit isn't apparently going to happen. Although I have to say, the current sort of frontrunners of the Conservative leadership contest seem to understand that, yes, we have to leave the EU on October the 31st, deal or no deal. Just get us goddamn out. So this was Jeremy Corbyn's response.
What we did was offered the politics of hope, not the politics of fear. We offered the politics of hope to end austerity, to fund our schools properly, to employ our police properly, to give our young people a future in this country. That's what it's about. Everybody, all the experts wrote Lisa off. All the experts wrote Labour off yesterday. Write Labour off at your peril. We are strong. We are very determined to offer that politics that invests in decent services, in decent housing, in decent healthcare, and in good quality jobs for the future, and a relationship with Europe that doesn't take us over a cliff edge, that protects jobs, protects investment, and gives our young people that future.
You might think that was mildly hypocritical coming from a socialist, where all that socialists do, such as Jeremy Corbyn's primary example of another way of doing politics in Venezuela, where jobs have been crushed, wages are down, everything's going to hell, and suddenly Jeremy Corbyn disavows. Very bold words from a man who simply can't do what he's expecting. I mean, unsurprisingly, Britain's billionaires are preparing to flee the country amid the fears of a Jeremy Corbyn premiership, which I am not surprised given how his logo, his catchphrase is "for the many, not the few." As in, he will be targeting the few, so they are going to have to make their plans accordingly. Obviously, that means they're thinking of just leaving, which means there are going to be fewer people who are billionaires to tax. The rich are going to bleed out of the country, and Jeremy Corbyn will be left holding the debt. And that will go onto the backs of the taxpayer, the people whose jobs are suddenly leaving, the people whose money is drying up. And my goodness, Jeremy, you'll be left holding that, going, but my socialist dream. I had such high plans. If only those goddamn billionaires would do as I tell them. Honestly, I am legitimately worried about the next general election. I'm legitimately worried about a Corbyn government getting in, and I think that there are good reasons to be afraid of this. It is a real shame that the Brexit Party didn't win this one. Hopefully this is a warning to the rest of the Brexit Party and the rest of the Brexiteers in the country saying, listen, we've got to do something about this, and if the Conservatives have any sense of self-preservation left, they'll just get us out.